Okay, perfect.
Introducing my next guest now. It's a delight to have a lady on my show now. We have Pamela Rooney joining me on my show. Pamela Rooney. It's so nice to have you on my show today. How are we doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. No worries at all. I've heard quite a lot about you, through radio presenters, and that's how I thought to just get you on, to chat about your music. So, first up, Pamela, how long have you been like a recording artist for?
Recording my first album, I recorded. I was 50. It was in 2015. That was my first one. I've been singing since the age of 4. My first appearance on a stage, I was 4, so that's where I got like the bug of wanting to be a singer. But I come out with my first album in 2015, and never stopped since then. Albums
Oh,
coming, and I'm planning on making more till the day I die. I hope.
impressive. So it's fair to say music really was the path you wanted to take naturally.
That's it. That's the path I wanted to take all my life. I've in my room as a little girl watching the Grand Ole Opry and Shotgun Red and all the stuff in Nashville and all over. And that's I've always wanted to be going through high school, everything. That's what I wanted to be. Never gave up my dream. And look at me today.
Oh, brilliant. And do you like just all types of music? Do you like appreciate like the many genres that they are out
Yes,
there?
I like all types of music. Like I listen to every kind of music. Actually, I am a musician, so music is
Mm.
music. But for my singing, I will always be a traditional country classic style. Put a little bit of twist of Irish in there and a little bit of twist of the new. But I love all kinds of music. But personally, for myself, I never really explored much in different genres of music to sing. But yeah, I mean, everybody has their own style, and my
Yeah.
style is traditional country music, and that's what I'm comfortable singing. And but yeah, I would like to try different stuff with different artists. But for myself, country music, the traditional stuff, will live on with me forever.
That's very nice. And also, do you remember I said to you, like your first question, recording artist, how long you've been recording artist for? Do you remember that moment when you stepped into like the recording studio for the very first time?
Oh my God, yes. First time, you're in a studio and you see this always on television. You're like, oh my God, because where I'm from, it's a very small town and we don't have that opportunity. I moved away from my hometown 5 years ago,
Mm.
but we don't have the studios and the sound of Nashville and what I wanted. So I had to travel to the only one that I knew at the time was towards Montreal. And when I got in there to put the earphones on my ears and have that mic in front of me and starting to live my dream was, I'm telling you, butterflies in my belly. But it's when I've heard my song the first time on the radio play, driving down the road, you're hearing yourself. It's like, it's quite a feeling, honestly, for anybody who's starting out in country music, not country music, any
Mm.
music. When they go record for the first time, it's a memory you'll never forget. That's something that's embedded in my mind, and I'll never forget that first song I recorded at a studio.
One of those
Mm.
magic moments which is up there then.
Oh, yes, yes. And with music, like, it's always magical moments, but when it's the first of everything,
Mm.
you never forget that. And recording into the first studio, I was telling you, I can remember it as if it was yesterday, and that was a long time ago.
Wow. They do say like first impressions, experiences are memorable, don't they? Whether you visit a holiday island or, you try new food for the first time, you always go back to that moment. You can picture it vividly.
That's right. That's right.
Mm. Growing up as well with music, did you ever form or were you in a band when you were younger? Or was being a solo artist what you always wanted to be?
Well, growing up, we like in our hometown, there's lots of musicians, there's lots of talent, but nobody really wanted to play music in my age group because it wasn't the thing back then. But I started off, my mom played the guitar, my dad played the guitar. They were musicians as well. So I had them to help me. If I wanted to sing somewhere when I was little, my mom would play the guitar. At the age of 12, I learned how to play the guitar myself because, it's hard if I go to little campfires or at school or whatever, I had nobody to back me up. So I had to learn myself. So I learned how to play the guitar. And then at the age of 15, there was bands around, like just local bands, and we had a little festival. So they had asked me to sing, so I went down and sang with them, and I had a band at 15 years old backing me up. And ever since that, I tried karaoke stuff younger, and it was just not me. It's not the same feeling. I
Mm.
like having people around me to have fun. So when I had the taste of having my first band, from that time on, I always played with bands, but it's always like bands. If you go to one festival, they have their main band,
Mm.
send the set list, and then they learn your songs. So it's never ever really the same bands that I have. But when I'm in my hometown, I bring my closest band that that I'm comfortable with and stuff like that. But it's never the same guys. It's
Mm.
always different, but it's all like little families here and there.
Nice. I always say like picking up a guitar. I mean, I don't play guitar myself. I play piano.
Oh,
But that's
nice.
beside the point. But picking up a guitar for the first time, I can imagine it's like speaking another language. It's an extra facet to have.
It is. And being a musician, like a singer, I always explain to people when you learn how to play the guitar, it's like driving a vehicle. Because, when you can't go somewhere with your car, you're stuck and you're like, ah. For me, playing my guitar, if I don't have my guitar, it's the same thing. I feel like on stage, if I don't have the guitar in my hand, I feel naked. And that's not a good feeling, like to have that guitar. My hands are like so hard now, but it's the same thing. Like if you drove all your life and then all of a sudden your car's in the garage for a week, you're lost. Well, me without my guitar, it's the same feeling. Same feeling. I need it all the time. So if you're a singer, learn how to play that guitar. This is fun.
And I wanted to ask, are you promoting or plugging any new material out at the moment? Would you like to
Well,
share with my listener?
right now, I just came out with my new single that I recorded in Nashville 2 weeks ago. I received my new song. So that song there is starting to play all over the world. But my studio in Nashville and I had discussed that we're going to be writing our own material together, and we're going to come out with a new album, a full album of country music. We're hoping it'll be finished by the end of the year, if not the beginning of next year. So there's going to be a new album coming out. I'm going to be trying to write some more songs on my end, and traveling. I got to go back to Texas. I'm the judge at the CMA Awards this year. And then I got to go to Ireland. I have a week tour down in Ireland. And it's nonstop. But with the music, it's just go, 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 go. And I love every minute of it. I drive everywhere I go. Except for Ireland, I'm going to have to take the plane. But I drive everywhere. Texas to Quebec is like 76 hours up and down. And now it's everything to do with my career. One thing after another. I got my new single out. New album going to come out next year. And every year I'm going to come out with new albums and new singles, and just to keep people happy. They love
Things
it.
go
So
things going swimmingly for you. That's good to hear during these times. And your new single as well. What's it called? Doing the rounds at the moment.
Love Me Out of Leaving You Tonight. That was written by Kurt Ryle up in Nashville, Tennessee. And all the musicians on that song has either played with George Strait, Alan Jackson, Tim McGraw, you name it. They played on this new single coming out. And Kurt had sent me 5 or 6 different songs to choose from which one I wanted to record. And when I heard that, I liked the kind of the speedy ones, the one that keeps people line dancing, whatever. So when I heard it, I was like, wow, this is me in and out. I love the style. I asked him just to upbeat it a little bit, give it a little bit of a twist like I usually sing it. And so I went to Nashville. I drove there, and the morning, well, I arrived Friday, and the night I slept, next morning I woke up, walked down the stairs at the motel, fell down, broke my ankle
Oh,
40 minutes before my recording. So I went to the studio anyway, hopped along, got into my vehicle, drove to the studio, and I recorded my song with a broken ankle 19 hours away from my home. It was quite a challenge, but I recorded the song. Hopefully it's going to be a hit. And I drove back to Quebec, Canada, 19 hours, 48 hours before I seen the doctor, but it was worth it. It
yeah.
was really worth it. So the new single is Love Me Out of Leaving You Tonight. And it's one of my favorites right now.
Wow, impressive that you went through breaking your ankle. Wow. At least you're here to like tell the story though.
Yeah, well, that's what I told everybody. I said, well, that's a good story to tell them about this new song anyway. At least it gives me something to talk about.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop me. It kept going.
Yeah.
And when you want to do what you want to do, like your career and follow your dreams, you'll do whatever it takes
Yeah.
to get there. So the broken ankle, that was nothing.
And is your ankle good now? Is it fixed? Is it
Yeah, I
getting
got
there?
my boot off 4 days ago. I'm starting to walk a little bit, but it's going to take a couple months to get the full effect. But
Yeah,
I'm walking, I'm still going, and it's not going to stop
that's
me for sure.
take your time, take your time. And
Okay.
I've got down here some previous songs from your catalogue. I've got let's go with I'm so glad the devil's mad. Was that one you wrote yourself? Was it an original or a cover? That one.
Which one was that?
Is it I'm so glad the devil's mad? Or is
The
that
Devils.
yeah,
Is
or
that my song?
oh, I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I have nothing with devil in
Okay,
it.
all right. Another one, is it Country Ain't Country Anymore?
Yes,
Right.
country ain't country anymore. Yes, I had wrote that song last year. That was a song I had written because of the fact that so many of the traditional country classics like George Jones and Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, it's more and more you don't hear them on the radios. And I was raised on that type of music, and so was every other country artist in this world. That's where country music had began, was from like Porter Wagoner, Dolly Parton, you name it. And the more as the years goes on, it's not being played anymore, and it's really sad because I mean, like that's my idols, and I said, you know what, this I'm going to write something about it. I had to write something about it, and how the country music is not what it is anymore. Like I explained on one of my other interviews, you have rock, you have the blues, you have rap, you have all those kind of musics, and you have country. But now you have country rap, country pop, country hip hop, country this, but they should have their own genres of music and leave country with country. So I
Mm.
came out with a song, Country Ain't Country Anymore, because of the fact we don't know what's supposed to be country anymore.
Mm.
You know, the older people, they listen to the country, they hear, okay, this is a new country song, but it's like rap. So, you know, they're all confused. That's
Mm.
why I came up with keeping the traditional alive with
Mm.
you know, I want to keep those guys always forever on the radio. And if I can write songs similar to how they were, then so be it. That's who I
Yeah,
am. And I'm a true fan of the legendary country music artists. And I tend to keep them going, you know, but I love all kinds of music. They're all
that's it.
good.
So
But
like
no,
creating awareness of the some of the greats of country music of late for the next generation,
mm-hmm,
passing it
that's it.
on.
Yeah. They deserve to be there, and they're going to keep
Mm.
being there as long as I'm alive.
Yeah, great. I think that's good why we have like Hall of Fames at all, so people can just look back and think, oh yeah, I remember him, and he started it all off, like Johnny Cash, amongst others as well.
That's right. Like the song Tennessee Whiskey. I
Mm.
had an interview yesterday, and that song is originally George Jones. Like, you know, he's the one who made the hit of it. And then the guy yesterday, he said, oh, I see you got a song of Chris Stapleton on your album of Tennessee Whiskey. But it's not. I when I do that song, when I perform Tennessee Whiskey, it's George Jones's style. That's how I've always done it. So he's like, oh my goodness, I just learned something new. So that's why I mean, like, it's beautiful. Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton style is beautiful. I absolutely love it. But I'm so old country that I can't even sing it his way. So
Mm.
I always kept the old Tennessee Whiskey, you know? So that's what I'm just trying to do, just to keep them alive.
Mm. Mm.
That's basically what it's about on my side.
Yeah. There's a lot of songs which are the biggest hits. Some people overlook that they were originally recorded way before by someone else. Like Tennessee Waltz, that was just an example.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. I mean, it's a beautiful version and everything like that, but it's just, you know, because there's so many younger, like the younger generation, they don't even know who George Jones is, like just for an example. So when I do the song at my festivals and that, I always explain before that this song here is George Jones's. And they're like, what? No, it's Chris Stapleton.
Mm.
That's just a perfect example, just showing that George Jones was forgotten. And, you know, like, so that we got to keep them going. That's
Yeah,
all.
keep going, keep going. And
That's right.
you mentioned that you write, obviously you write your own material as well. But what do you enjoy about like doing covers? Putting your own stamp on a song, making it your own.
That well, my last album, Storms Never Last, when I came up with that one, that was every song that I loved singing all through the years, and I always watch like my fans, the audience, of how they react with each song that I do in my show. And the reaction when I came out with the old songs like Ring of Fire, Tonight the Bottle Let Me Down, all those kinds of songs, I seen the reaction. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do my favorite songs plus the audience favorite songs, put them all together on one album. And it was a hit. It was a hit. I was like, wow, okay. So, the people still do love these old songs. But then they question, like, but I thought it was their song, or that's why I'm doing it, just to bring them back and just say, okay, no, just do your research. And here's who they used to be. But I love that album. I had so much fun doing that album and choosing the songs and that and this and that. It was fun.
Amazing. A couple more questions to go. Well, let's go this one. Say, where do you get like your creativity ideas from when songwriting? You're well traveled. Does that influence, your songwriting? Going around the country, the world.
Yeah, I my late the songs I have wrote before, it's hard for me to write songs. It's very hard. I get writer's block very easily because I want to write so many things. I have so many ideas, and I like to write true stories about people's lives or whatever without naming anybody's names for sure, never. But the last songs, one song that I had written, I was in my scaffold, means like it's a watch when you go hunting. We hunt moose, me and my sisters,
Mm.
and that day there was nothing there. So I wrote a song about moose hunting. Another song I was in the shower and it come to me. If I sit there and start to plan, it takes me forever. It just has to come to me. But so that's why I got Kurt Ryle to help me write those songs. But what I've been trying to do since traveling, I look at signs, I look at buildings, I look at things that'll give me one word that'll click and say, okay, let's write a song about this town, or let's write a song of, that's what I've been doing lately, because I'm thinking, okay, I can't write a song this way, so I'm going to try a different way of doing
Mm.
it. So that's what I've been doing. And so far I got 3 or 4 already started, 3 or 4 songs. But then like I said, with Kurt Ryle, I'm just going to leave him do it because
Mm.
there's too much to do. I have no manager. I do everything on my
Mm.
own. So between writing songs and traveling and bookings and all kinds of stuff, I said, oh, I need help. This is
Yeah.
too much right now. So Kurt's going to be writing some songs for me.
Yeah, there's many factors like being a professional musician, as you say, and it's good to just have like a helping hand here and there.
Yeah, it is.
Great.
It's a really hard career. It is not an
Mm.
easy career for anybody
Yeah,
who wants to get into this. It's hard,
yeah.
and there's a lot of steps to take. And I'm so grateful to have so many people helping me now. That yeah, it's a nice career.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for joining me on today's show, Pamela Rooney. Lovely to chat with you about your music, and maybe get you on in a couple of months' time, and I see how you're progressing with your latest single and album as well. All right.
Thank you so much for taking me.
It's all right. It's amazing to have you on as an interviewee on my show today.
Thank you.